Oscar, we don't necessarily associate folk musicians with back alley sort of brawls and getting beaten up. Who is Llewyn Davis and where is he in his life when we first meet him in the film?
Yeah, it is funny. I mean, that's how the Coens work. That's how the whole movie started. They're like, imagine a folk musician getting beat up in an alley. And it's like, why would there ever be a folk musician getting beat up in an alley? And that's just kind of how the movie evolved in their mind, which is very funny. Who is Llewyn? I don't know. I mean, that's the whole movie is a kind of a window into this guy's person, and really a window into how this guy makes this music. I mean, really, it's kind of a story of his songs, where the songs come from. You know, a lot of times you hear these old folk songs, and there's a desperation to them. There's people crying out, and this tries to paint a picture of where he gets his inspiration for this beautiful music, and it's actually from a very dark place. Because
the film title obviously shares the title with the name of the album in the movie, but do you think it is from his perspective? Does it give us a journey kind of inside Llewyn Davis?
Completely, yeah. I think the title says exactly what's happening in the movie, is you're getting a window into this person's soul.
And can you set the stage of the music scene at the time, 1961, the kind of pre-Bob Dylan, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there was the village was on fire at the time. I mean, people were coming down. Really, what was Dave Van Ronk called it the Great Folk Scare, and funny enough, folk musicians were pretty low on the list. People were really coming to see the poets, the beatnik poets. In fact, Van Ronk used to say that they would bring the folk musicians in to clear the room between the poets. So basically, if you came in and played a couple songs and the people were still there, you weren't allowed back the next night, because they needed to keep rotations going with the people. So the folk musician was pretty low on the list there. But as people came down, you know, that started to get more popular. And Llewyn is a guy that plays old songs. He's a folk musician that finds old songs and kind of reinvents them and brings them to people. And this shift started happening with people wanting new songs, wanting new music. And so that left this void that Bob Dylan came in and just synthesized what the beat poets were doing in new music and at the same time in the old style.
And you perform full songs, don't you? What was your approach to that? And did you sing a lot when you were back at Juilliard, when you were doing your training?
Yeah, Juilliard is actually really where they taught me how to sing, because before that I sung pretty poorly. But yeah, you know, they teach you how to use your voice and your diaphragm and how to kind of find your honest sound.
So they're quite intense, sort of longer takes than a dialogue scene. I mean,
yeah,
time was really on you.
Yeah, for about
duration.
3-4 minutes at a time, for sure. Yeah, that was incredibly exciting and challenging, because it's an unusual thing, and particularly this, because I know it happens in musicals to a certain extent, but the fact that I was playing and singing live every time with no click track or none of that stuff, and these full long takes, it was unusual but wonderful.
And you've worked with some amazing directors now. Could you maybe put working with the Coens in context with Nicholas Winding Refn, Madonna, Ridley Scott? What's their way of working? How does it kind of compare?
Of course, each one of those that you've mentioned have vastly different ways of shooting and of approaching the material. But they have such an off the cuff, relaxed way of shooting. Which is strange, because their tone is so precise and their framing is so precise, and you'd think that it'd be very dictated, you know, exactly what people need to do, where you need to stand, how you need to move, how you need to speak, but somehow it's a strange phenomenon that out of all the directors, I think they have such a very specific tone, and yet it feels like one of the most relaxed sets I'd ever been on. You know, it was just very free and I just loved it. Yeah.
Oscar Isaac, thanks very much.
Thank you.